Sri Gurupyo Namah. Morning viewers. In this video we are going to see the upcoming Saturn Transit. Saturn moves from Capricorn to Aquarius on January 17th, evening around 6:02 pm. We will be seeing the predictions for each and every zodiac as a separate video. If you are new to my channel, keep it subscribed so that you get my updates instantly. The Saturn transit takes place on 17th of January, evening around 6:02 pm, where you are seeing the planetary position. During the day, it is Visakha star, where Moon is on Scorpio, and you could see the planetary position. Rahu is at Aries, Mars is at Taurus, Ketu is at Libra, Moon is at Scorpio, and Mercury is at Sagittarius. Sun and Venus conjuncted at Capricorn, Saturn being a ruler at Aquarius. Now as a day it enters into the Aquarius and becomes a ruler there, and Jupiter is a ruler at its own house Pisces. This is the planetary position. Based on these planetary positions for the next 2.5 years, we will be seeing the predictions for each and every zodiac, how Saturn is going to behave, what are the good and positive things a person will get, and what would be the negative effects. First of all, one should understand the planetary position of the current position. It will have an impact up to 15 to 20% on a personal horoscope. The basis is only based on the original horoscope, which is derived on the Mahadasa and Antardasa from the existing planetary position on the birth date and time. So one need not have to worry about all these problems of Saturn. At the same time, during the 7.5 period of Saturn, as well as Saturn is at the 8th house, there may be some problems also. We call it as Ashtama Sani, and we call it as Edara Sani. So all these two positions, the Saturn will give some negative impacts also. Depends upon the planetary positions during that particular time. The best remedy could be praying to Lord Ganesha daily, or every Saturday praying to Lord Hanuman will give you good relief from the Saturn's ill effects. So let us see which are all the zodiac getting good and bad effects based on the upcoming Saturn transit. For these three zodiac, the upcoming Saturn transit seems to be highly favorable. First, let us see for Aries. So far, Saturn was placed at the 10th house, is going to move to the 11th house, which indicates profit. So the position of Saturn, which takes its highest power like Mula Trikona at Aquarius, which is being the 11th house for Aries, this Saturn transit seems to be really favorable for them. So they can expect good returns. They can expect good returns through investments. There will be good rise in the salary. Those who have worked in a company for, they can expect some good incentives, increments during this upcoming Saturn transit. Also, those who are doing business can grow their business well and get some good business inflow, and there will be good inflow of money. So for Aries, we can say this is a good positivity. Next comes Sagittarius. So far, Sagittarius was under the control of Saturn for 7.5 years. On the January 17th, when Saturn moves away from the 2nd house to the 3rd house, the zodiac Sagittarius gets rid of the 7.5 period of Saturn completely. So that is a great time for them, because for the past 7.5 years they had struggled a lot. So this movement of Saturn, it will give some good benefits. It will start yielding good benefits for Sagittarius. Also, Saturn at 3rd house will do some positivity, as whenever the planets are associated with 3rd and the 11th house, will definitely give some positive results. The 3rd zodiac is Virgo. For Virgo, so far Saturn was placed in the 5th house. Now moving to the 6th house seems to be really good. So when 6th house, a planet like Saturn is associated, they can get good returns through business. Those who had invested money they can yield some good positive results during this particular time. Those who borrowed through loans, this particular time it will give them benefits of repaying back the loan. Similarly, those who have lended money to others, this particular period they can get back the money So it's a good time for them also. They can win out of their enemies. In business, they can win out of the competitors' shares. All the positive things can happen. So for the upcoming Saturn transit, for all these three zodiac, the positivity could be more than 80%. Now for the zodiac Taurus. So far, Saturn was placed in the 9th house and which moves to the 10th house. 10th house indicates job, workplace. So we can expect good job opportunities for those who are unemployed so far. This time seems to be really favorable for them. Those who are already working in a company can find this period suitable for promotions as well as increments. Some may get foreign opportunities. They travel different places. So a lot of positive things can happen for Taurus. Also, Saturn is responsible for the 9th and 10th houses. So we can say some of them may start their own business with the father or elder brother's side. This could be really good fortune for doing business also. Now for Scorpio, as Saturn moves to the 4th house and we call it as Kendra. Whenever in Kendra a planet like Saturn is associated, it could yield some positive results. So for Scorpio, this Saturn transit seems to be really favorable. They can increase their asset purchases. Some of them can buy their own house, buy their own flats. They can buy their land or they can invest money in share market and find some good profits. So it looks really positive for them. And some of them, if the mother's health is not well, they can get complete recovery from their health related problems. So this seems to be favorable for Scorpio. In terms of Gemini, so far Saturn was placed at the 8th house, so it could have given a lot of troubles for them. As Saturn moves away from 8th house to 9th house seems to be really good time for Gemini, because the ill effects of the 8th house is getting relieved as Saturn moves away to the 9th house. For all these three zodiac, this Saturn transit we can expect 70% and above positivity. Now for these three zodiac, if you see for Capricorn, as Saturn moves away from Capricorn itself is a good relief for those who are in this particular zodiac. So far they might have faced lot of troubles, they might have faced lot of health related issues, many negative effects, some might have lost their job. All these problems might have faced for the last 2.5 years. As Saturn moves away to the 2nd house, it looks really favorable for them, as at the 2nd house Lord itself is going to be a ruler. It looks like they can build their money back. Whatever they have lost so far, they can regain back. So it's a good time for building the revenue. Some of them can construct their own house. Some of them can communicate well to others. Those who are in the field of communication business, they can improve their skills. And those who are not married yet, it's a good time for them to settle down in their life. So positivity can happen in the upcoming Saturn transit. Now when you consider Libra, so far Saturn is placed good, but to an extent it is favorable as it moves to the 5th house, and Saturn will not do bad effects for those ascendant and zodiac of Venus as well as for Mercury. So Saturn being placed at the 5th house at Trikona is not good, but at the same time for Libra, to an extent it gives positivity. And for Leo, so far Saturn is placed from 6th house, it moves to the 7th house, itself is really good, but at the same time as it aspects the Leo, some may find troubles in the married life. Who are looking for marriage alliances, there may be some troubles, there may be hurdles, so some negativity is also there. So for these three zodiac, we can say a positivity from 50 to 70%. In the upcoming Saturn transit, we could see these three zodiac getting badly affected. As Saturn moves from Capricorn to Aquarius, so those who are in this zodiacs and Aquarius, they are in the mid of the 7.5 period of Saturn, so they face lot of troubles in the next 2.5 years. So they may face some health related issues, some troubles, some hurdles in their life. Those who are looking for marriage, things may not happen in time, so a lot of negative things can happen. But one should remember that Saturn owns the houses of Capricorn and Aquarius, will not do much harm to the own houses. As you can see, a teacher can punish any student but at the same time the teacher will not give the similar punishment to his own child in case if the same child is studying under him. So the teacher may show some mercy to his own child. So like the same way Saturn will not do much harm to the zodiac Capricorn as well as Aquarius. So they need not have to worry a lot. Now for Pisces, as when Saturn moves to the 12th house of Pisces, it starts that sound of period of Pisces now. So now the zodiac, those who are in this particular zodiac, they may face lot of expenses. So as they are entering to the sound of period of Saturn, so the next sound of years time seems to be a really tough time for Pisces. So it is not so encouraging for them. And the another zodiac is Cancer. For Cancer, as Saturn moves from 7th house to the 8th house, so which is not favorable. So far, they might have faced some troubles in the family life. There may be conflict between husband and wife, life partners. Now, all these conflicts might come to an end. Even for those who are unmarried, there are chances they get married. All these positive things can happen. But at the same time, when Saturn moves to the 8th house, it may give some health related problems, some hurdles, some troubles in the family life. So for these three zodiac, the positivity could be less than 50%. Now let us see for each and every zodiac sign, based on the position of Jupiter and the upcoming Saturn transit and also the placement of Rahu and Ketu, what would be the predictions, what are the positive things and negative things, which we can see in detail. Scorpio, the 8th zodiac sign as per the Kalapurusha Tattva. For Scorpio, the upcoming Saturn transit, from 3rd house, Saturn moves to the 4th house. Saturn so far placed in the 3rd house seems to be really good, but when it moves to the 4th house, it becomes Ardhashtama Sani. But luckily, planets like Saturn or Rahu, when gets associated with the Kendra Stan, that is 1, 4, 7 and 10, they do positive results also. So Saturn transit to the 4th house looks better for Scorpio. Children might study well. Children up to 10th and 12th standard, this period they may focus well on their studies. They may show interest in their studies. They score good marks. They could get good schools and universities. It looks really favorable for them. For those also indicate mother and mother's health and mother's side family. So there could be good improvement in the health of the mother if they face any health related issues. Also there will be good understanding and relationship with the mother side family also. Fourth house also indicate the purchase of assets. So for Scorpio, this Saturn transit, there could be possibilities of purchasing good assets. Some may enter into a new house, some may purchase land or properties during this next 2.5 years. Some may buy vehicles, 2-wheelers or 4-wheelers, add on to the existing one. So it looks really favorable. The moment of transit looks good. Now from 4th house, Saturn will aspect the 6th house of Scorpio. When Saturn aspects the 6th house, it turns out to be a positive thing, because a negative planet aspecting the 6th house, it will reduce the impact of the 6th house. 6th house means health related issues, enmities, borrowings. So we can say during this period, whatever the loan they are taken, it is easy for them to repay the loans back. Same way, if they had lended any money to any person, it is easy for them to get back the money also. As 6th house also indicate health related issues, so they may be very strong in their health. So they could get rid of the health related problems during this period also. 6th house also indicate enmities. So those who are working in business or in workplace, they may face certain enemies. They may lose out their share with their enemies. Even in companies, they may face certain people working against them. So during this period, they could win out of all these enemies. So it seems to be a really successful time for them. Now Saturn aspecting the 10th house looks critical because as 10th house indicates workplace. Even for female who are housewife, they need to work in their house, they need to prepare food, they need to take care of their children. So in a family, the housewives may also face certain difficulties during this period as Saturn aspecting the 10th house. Same way, a person working in a company, he will also find certain difficulties with the seniors. There may be conflicts, problems with the seniors. Some may lose out their jobs also. Depends upon the criticality in the personal horoscope. But fortunately, as Jupiter from Aries will aspect the 10th house also parallelly. So during 2023, the ill effects will not be there much. But during 2024, certainly there will be some critical issues also. Those who are jobless, it is better to take good job opportunities during 2023 rather than waiting for 2024. Because comparing with 2023, 2024 seems to be really tough in terms of workplace. So for Scorpio, they may face certain problems, certain challenges during 2024. Especially some of them may find problems with the health of the father, and there may be some troubles with the father side family also. Because the 10th house where the sun takes the leadership there, also at 6th house, sun exalts there. Whenever Saturn aspects the sun on these houses, it gives very tough time for the head of the family. So we could say this period, especially in the month of April and in the month of September, they may face certain problems, challenges with their father's health also. Now Saturn aspecting the ascendant directly. See, Saturn also aspects Scorpio directly. When Saturn aspects the Scorpio, no other positive planets are getting associated with the Scorpio. It means it will give lot of health related problems during the initial transit time. That is during from 2023 January onwards. Some of them may face certain difficulties. But if the personal chart is really strong, they may not face any problems. Also, during the time when a rising moon is associating with the Scorpio, or Venus is aspecting Scorpio or getting associated with Scorpio, those periods they may not face any challenges. But whenever the positive planets are not getting associated with Scorpio, there could be some health related problems also. So they should be very much careful during this period as Saturn aspecting the Scorpio directly. So they may face certain problems. Mind may not be clear during such time. So some of them may face certain troubles. Some of them may be tensed. They find certain mind related problems. Even when Saturn is aspecting at Scorpio, and if Moon debilitates at the particular house, there may be very much problematic period. So some may face stress also. So there may be blood pressure, there may be stress. Some may lose out their confidence. So a lot of negative results also take place. But fortunately, during 2024, when Jupiter from Taurus aspects the house of Scorpio, all the health related issues will get vanished. They will start getting their self-confidence back, and they will fight back with the situation and take every steps in a positive way. So when comparing the planetary positions for the next 2.5 years, for Scorpio, it is not a difficult period. For Scorpio, the upcoming Saturn transit could certainly yield a positivity between 75 to 80%.